Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening replay on the Nintendo Switch as we're playing through the remake. Last time we landed on the island of Koholint. We're trying to find our way around here. We found our sword. We played around in the village for a bit. And an owl actually told us that the next destination we should be heading towards is the Mysterious Forest. So that is exactly where we're going to be going next. So let's go ahead and read this sign. Mysterious Forest. Moblins ahead. They're not friendly. I wish they would have said, like, the Mysterious Forest. It's just a bit mysterious. Which I think what the sign said in the original game. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into the forest here. See what we can find. Looks like our owl friend is back to give us some more guidance. Hoot! Hoo, brave lad, on your quest to wake the dreamer. Welcome to the Mysterious Forest. Much of mystery you'll find in this uncharted Koholint Island. I'm afraid you may find it a trifle difficult to leave the island while the windfish naps. By the by, have you ever visited the Tail Cave, which is south of the village? Go there with the key you find in this forest. The windfish is watching. Hoot! Okay, so that is going to be our quote-unquote first destination, I guess. But first we have to make our way through the Mysterious Forest. As it warned us, there are moblins here, and one thing I will say, and it's not really a negative for this game, if anything, some could probably see it as a positive. But when it comes to the general combat of this game, I feel like it's way, way more fleshed out in this version compared to the original Link's Awakening, which I guess is understandable. The original Link's Awakening was made back in the early 90s. It was on a handheld, so obviously the developers had to take some liberties to kind of, simplify the combat to an extent to make it more accessible for players. But now that this is on, a console game, and it's also, much later on after they've made many other Zelda games, they're actually able to kind of flesh out the combat a bit more, and as a result, also kind of improve the AI of the enemies as well. And that's one of the things I really noticed during my first playthrough, is a lot of enemies, particularly enemies with shields, like this guy right here, they tend to actually block attacks a lot more, unlike the original game where you could just kind of like get in there and then get a few lucky hits in and then kill the enemies. So you have to be a bit smarter with your own combat in this game. Maybe even wait till you have certain items before you can go all ham against an enemy. So again, I do give the developers major props for kind of fleshing out the combat, because I think it does make the game, a little more difficult, but in a good way. So yeah, that is one kind of cool thing about them kind of fleshing out the combat in this game. So yeah, we're going to be exploring the forest, going to be looking for that key that we're trying to get. So let's go ahead and go over here after knocking out some moblins. It looks like we have a raccoon over here. As a raccoon, my nose is very sensitive to stuff like dust and powder. Okay, that's good to know. I don't really care, but oh, you're gonna be lost thanks to me. And lost we are. We're at a different part of the forest now. We did find a fairy, which is nice, but yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that raccoon if we want to actually get through here and make it through the forest. Wow. I was about to say make it through the forest alive, but I guess a better thing to say is make it through the forest without getting lost. Because I guess the forest isn't too dangerous, but still, you can kind of just go around in circles if you don't find the right path. So we're going to go over here to this tree stump. Beware of floors with cracks. Don't get too comfortable on them. And I believe they're referring to this room right here. Basically, any floors that have cracks, if you stand on them too long, they'll actually break. And if you fall down a hole, you obviously will lose some health. Ooh, piece of power. You can feel the energy flowing through you. So yeah, that is a a drop you can find, a piece of power. There's also guardian acorns as well. Also 50 rupees, very nice. These are just small little stat buffs that can drop from time to time. Piece of power gives you double damage, where you do double damage to enemies, which is pretty cool. The guardian acorn gives you double defense for the same amount of time. Now, one difference with these drops compared to the previous game, the original version of the game, is that these don't last as long. Like, normally you'd keep it until literally, like, you got hit by something. In this version, like, after a few seconds it will go away, so you have to be kind of careful with that. But it also doesn't put that repetitive music on forever either, which is also a nice addition compared to the original. So let's go ahead and grab this. You pick the Toadstool. As you hold it over your head, a mellow aroma flows into your nostrils. So we're going to need to use that Toadstool here in a bit. I'm just going to ignore these guys for now. I know there is a way you can fight them more effectively, but I think it gets better once you get another item later on, which makes it a lot easier to just kind of dodge and avoid. So for now, we're just going to try to run away from them. And we're also getting a lot of rupees too, so we might be able to stop back at the Trendy game at some point. Maybe get some other items. Because I think they actually do kind of change the type of rewards you can get from the Trendy game on a pretty... on a semi-regular basis, anyway. Okay, let's ignore this guy, because I want to get healed anyway. Like, again, as I said before, the Mysterious Forest isn't that dangerous, but we are still only on 3 hearts right now, so... And those hearts can go pretty quickly without you realizing it. Yeah, if you talk to this fairy, I believe she'll just heal you. Yeah. So if you're low on hearts, you can just talk to her and she'll give you a refill, which is pretty nice. Come on. These gel enemies, when they're big, they can bump into you and do damage. When they're small, they'll just latch onto you. They won't do damage, but they'll slow you down, so have to be kind of careful. There is a chest over there, but we can't reach it, so we're going to be going over here to this pathway instead. And I guess we're out of the forest now. Like, we're still, like, on the side of the forest, but we can't really go anywhere from this side of the forest anyway, so really all we can do is just visit the witch over here and see what the witch has to say. Ah, it has the sleepy toadstool, it does. We'll mix it up something in a jiffy, we will. So she'll convert our Toadstool into some magic powder. It's all ready, it is. Take care, as there's not much there. Why not try a bit in my huts? So here we have the magic powder. Open the subscreen with the plus button and set it to either X or Y. So yeah, we have our first, well, I guess we have the bottle, so that's another Y, X item we have. But yeah, this is where the item inventory comes into play. You basically have 2 buttons. You can sign with either the Y or X. We'll assign powder to Y for right now. And let's go ahead and try it in her hut like she asked. Good job. Use it on enemies and see what happens. If you run out, go to the forest, pick some toadstools, and I'll make you more. Come back without a toadstool, and you may have to pay a price for my leftovers. So yeah, that's how you can come back or get more magic powder if you're running low. Thankfully, you don't really need magic powder for too much in this game, so, you know, we're not really going to ever have to do that. But still, it's good to know. So yeah, with magic powder, we can turn those blob enemies into nerdy-looking guys and actually attack them without getting electrocuted, which is nice. So now that we have that, we can now go back through the forest. And, well, the magic powder seems to be doing a lot of interesting things to enemies and other creatures. Let's try using this on the raccoon we saw earlier. He said his nose was sensitive to stuff like powder, so this just seems like a good idea now. That animation's a lot more fun in the original game because he literally bounces all over the screen. The last thing I can remember was biting into a big juicy toadstool. Then I had the darndest dream. I was a raccoon. Yeah, sounds strange, but it sure was fun. Oh, Taryn, you weirdo. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So here we go. We got our treasure chest here. Let's open it up. There is the tail key. Now we can open the tail cave gates. So naturally our owl friend's going to come back and talk to us about that key. Hoot! Take the key and go to the tail cave. Retrieve the instrument that is hidden there. Go now! The windfish is waiting. Hoot! Okay, Mr. Owl. Whatever you say, buddy. That does sound like a good idea, but like I said, we're gonna not exactly do that. Like, we're gonna be going back to that general area, of course, but we're not gonna go straight to the tail cave. We'll spend all next video at the tail cave, so that just seems like a better use of my time, at least for right now anyway. So instead, we're gonna go around and collect some more rupees. I think that sounds like a better use of my time. I could also go back to do some more fishing, because that'll give me a lot of rupees. But I also want to check on the Trendy game again, because I think that's, again, prices do change throughout the game. I don't know, like, how much they change, but they do change. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. So, okay, well, there's a secret seashell there. There's also a chomp thing over here. We also got some magic powder in the back, too. That's another thing that happened in the remake compared to the original game. You have to actually do the Toadstool quest if you want to get the magic powder. In the original game, you could just come to the Trendy game and get powder immediately, but they changed that in the remake to, you know, force you down the Toadstool quest, which I do like. I know the speedrunners don't really like that kind of stuff because it's like, oh, we could easily just have skipped this, but doesn't bother me that much. I might be getting into speedrunning a little bit, but it's part of the process. It's part of the game process as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, there wasn't really that much of worth there at the Trendy game, honestly. Like, the next big thing I want to purchase is that shovel. So obviously I'm a little more focused on that right now. So the other stuff of the Trendy game can definitely wait. But they are things I will have to go back and get at some point, though. And we'll talk about that chomp thing that was in there. So we're going to take that Yoshi doll that we got in the last video. Because that one kid mentioned that they were trying to get that doll for a while. And we're going to talk to this family here. First we'll talk to you. Yep, those are my boys. I'm Popple. Pleased to meet you. I'll be lost in the hills later, so keep a lookout for me. Here? Or here? Whatever. I don't get his mentality. It's like, I'm gonna go get lost. I'm gonna go get stranded from my family. Like, you're weird. So now let's talk to you. Oh, will you give that Yoshi doll to my baby? I mean, I guess. I don't have any other use for it. Oh, thank you. You are indeed a generous person. Ah, I will give you this in return. So we traded your Yoshi doll for a ribbon. Maybe you can trade the ribbon for something else. So yeah, this is actually the start of the trade quest that was kind of alluded to when we looked at that one book in the library. So this is a quest we're going to be basically following throughout the game. You can actually get through the quest, like, I don't want to say fairly early, but like, you can get through with the trade quest before, like, Dungeon 5, or before Dungeon 6, I think. So, you don't really have to go too far into the game to complete it, but still, you know, you'll probably, in your time through the game, meeting all the characters and everything, you'll probably, you know, get through it as you're going through the game, is essentially what I'm trying to go for there. So we're going to take that ribbon, and we're going to move all the way back here to Bow Wow's house, but we're going to go inside the dog house portion, because there is a chain shop in here. Makeup, jewels, dresses, I want it all. Oh, that ribbon, I need it. Will you trade it for my dog food? Sure. Lucky, thanks. Well, here's your dog food. You exchanged the ribbon for some dog food. It's full of juicy beef. Oh boy, my favorite. I love juicy beef. Or Link loves juicy beef. I don't know. Who really knows anymore? So now that we have the dog food, we're actually going to go all the way down to the beach now, because the beach has the next thing we're going to be trading for. We didn't actually visit this place earlier, but we will be visiting it now after I, you know, greedily go out of my way for rupees. I might actually go back to the village and do some more rupee grinding just so I can get the shovel, and also pick up a few other items that we can get at this point. And again, it's the shovel. The shovel is a good item to get as early as you can. So yeah, there's this building right here. This is Sail's House of Bananas, and this is Sail, a giant blue crocodile or alligator or something. What's that you have? It's canned food. For heaven's sake, man, give that to me, please. I'm gonna lose it if I can't get that can. Oh, thank you. I'll take that. Damn it, he even ate the can, too. Although, again, he is a crocodile, alligator, whatever. Munch, munch. That was great. I know it's not a fair trade, but here's some bananas. Yum. So you gave him dog food and got bananas in return. Good deal. Yeah, honestly, that is probably a better deal for Link, considering, you know, he's not a dog. But, I don't know, maybe he really loved that dog food. Maybe he thought it was an unfair trade. Well, what's he gonna do with a bunch of bananas, anyway? Do reptiles eat bananas? That's the big question here. Okay, so, now that we got that, yeah, we're still fairly short in this video time, so we can probably do a small bit of rupee grinding. I'm not going to obviously, like, showcase it, though, because, you know, obviously I don't want to waste your guys' time. So I'm going to, I guess, go to the fishing pond, fish up some more things. If I get any other rewards, because I know there is a piece of heart we can get here, another piece of heart we can get, I'll obviously showcase that. But yeah, just gonna get some big fish and get some rupees. Gonna try to get at least enough for the shovel anyway. And yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, okay, there's that piece of heart. Apparently it was on a smaller fish. It was just caught in its mouth for some reason. But yeah, there's the piece of heart. Okay, I think I've caught enough fish for right now. Yeah, okay, we're up to 226. Which is honestly a good amount of rupees to have at this current point in time. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and leave, stop fishing for right now, and we're going to go to the shop first of all. Because at the shop, we have that shovel we can now buy. Now, there is also the legendary stealing from the shop trick. I will show that off in this playthrough, but not until the very end of it, because let's just say that stealing from the shop will have some game-long repercussions that I don't want to actually activate right now. So I'm not going to do that till the very end. I will show it off, but I'm not going to show it off now. And that's basically all there is to it. So we'll definitely showcase that later. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue here. Deluxe shovel, 200 rupees. Seems expensive. That is pretty expensive, but we are going to buy it anyway. Thanks a lot, and come again. So there we go. You got the shovel. Now you can feel the joy of digging. All you have to do is head to X or Y on the subscreen. Okay, so yep, we have another new item. We have the shovel. We can now dig things up, which is pretty sweet. See? We can dig. Sometimes you can find, like, rupees underground, which is pretty nice. But mainly, this is just used for digging up seashells. In fact, let's actually showcase that right now, while I am thinking about it. Because in this place right here, there is actually a hidden seashell in here. Hooray! We got one! What do we do with it? We'll have to find out later, game. We'll have to find out later. Okay, so before I do anything else, I'm gonna grind a couple more rupees here. See if I can get up to 50 from this grass. This grass is a good, like, kind of early farming spot. Just because you can find some 5s here. And 5s will, you know, 5s are a good denomination of rupees to get. I'm not sure if I need 30 or 50. That's why I'm kind of, like, not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it's 30 in the original game, but they actually changed it. Or they may have changed it in the remake. But I think, if we go in here... Okay, no, never mind. We can't get that yet. But as you can see, there is a bow and arrow set here. But it is super expensive, 980 rupees, so yeah, we can't buy that yet, so that's a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. And in that case, since what I thought was there isn't there yet, I really thought it was there once you got the shovel, but maybe it's not there until you beat Dungeon 1 or 2 or something. That honestly could be the thing. But we'll go ahead and go to the Trendy game again instead, because there are some items we can now pick up. Obviously, we have the seashell. We also have this little chain chomp thing. And hopefully I don't screw this up so much now that I actually know the control scheme here. Although I'm sure I'll still screw it up to some degree. And see, this is the thing, like, even if this looks great, there's no guarantee I'm going to get it, because it can just fall out of the hands. Like it... Please tell me that's... Oh my god, that is not going to fall down. Oh my god. It's just like the Yoshi doll, although I think that's even worse. Okay. See if we can get the chain chomp. That should be good. Okay, well I got that. Can I even get the seashell from here? Should be able to get it. That's really obnoxious, though. Like, that should just fall down. That should have just made it. I don't know why it didn't. Okay. I'm going to do this one more time, see if I can grab the rupees. Okay, if I do this, I get a profit out of it, so I may as well. As long as it doesn't fall out of the frickin' hand. Which it really could have done right there. Okay, so no, we're not going to challenge again. Just give me a holler whenever you want to play. Will do. Let's grab our spoils. We have the secret seashell. We have the 20 rupees. You came out ahead. And we have a Chow Chow figure. There must be somewhere you can display it. So, this is another thing. You may have noticed in the last video when we went into, or when we were in Marin's house, there was this stand that was like, oh hey, put a piranha plant here. You can actually use these stands to place some of these statues you can find. And I believe the statues, you can only find them at the Trendy game, if I'm not mistaken. But, well, obviously this would be a place to go for a chain chomp stand, so... Chow Chow, yeah. Okay. So there we go. So this is just like a nice little side quest you can do. I don't think you really get anything from it, but it is something you can do with stuff in this game. Ho ho ho, okay, I already talked to you. Okay, you don't react to that statue, whatever. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Obviously, I still have rupees. Just for fun, let's see if they change the stock here again. Again, I find that they actually change the stock quite often. Okay, well, it's just rupees now, so let's not worry about it. We'll come back later when there'll be other, more important rewards that we can potentially get. And yeah, as far as the fishing game, I think we're done with the fishing game until we get to a much later part in the adventure. So now that we have the tail key, we're going to go over to the tail cave, which, in order to get there, we have to kind of take this very long, roundabout path here. Gotta kill a couple of Octoroks along the way. And here we go. Let's go ahead and put this key in and open up our first dungeon, which we will be taking care of next video. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. So this has been SlimKirby. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next time when we take on our first dungeon in The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. See you guys then. Later, folks.